From here, we ratify and reaffirm the sovereignty and the independence of Venezuela. I have seen some caricatures circulating on Wikipedia about who truly governs Venezuela. Well, let me tell you, there is a legitimate government right here that is in charge of Venezuela. Here we have an acting president and a hostage president in the United States, and we govern alongside the organized people, alongside popular power, and we advance in respectful international relations within the framework of international law to uphold and to protect the rights of our beloved Venezuela.
Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodríguez, has hit back sharply at U.S. President Donald Trump after he posted a manipulated image claiming he was the acting president of Venezuela. Rodríguez accused external actors of spreading false narratives about who governs the country, insisting that power rests with Venezuela's institutions and its people. The remarks come amid a sudden shift in U.S.-Venezuela relations after President Trump said Washington was getting along very well with Venezuela's leadership and signaled openness to visiting Caracas. At the same time, Venezuela's Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello said restoring diplomatic presence would allow Venezuela to provide consular protection, including oversight of Maduro's security while he remains in U.S. custody.
Venezuela defends its independence, its sovereignty, and it demands from the world that there be no more interference from those who believe themselves more powerful, not only in Venezuela, but in any other place, or a great number of Venezuelan men and women dead. And we all know what is happening in Venezuela. From other places, they want us to get involved in their agenda, trying to deceive, to manipulate, of having to keep on telling all these lies. Today is already the 12th day. Almost 10 days, the reestablishment and the opening of the embassies of Venezuela in the United States and of the United States in Venezuela. That will allow us to have a consular representation so that they can be watching over the security and the tranquility of our President Nicolas Maduro and of the civilians there in the United States. That is the fundamental objective, to allow us to have someone there, because right now we don't have anyone. They are being held captive there, and we have no one except for the lawyers who are not Venezuelan. 10 days since the treacherous attack against do they realize today that when they launched that bomb, it was also against them? And those who called for interventions, and those who keep calling for interventions, and those who keep calling for invasions against our country, are outside Venezuela, our country.
An attack that we have ordered a full-scale deployment across every single state.
In addition to the tasks that we already have this week of planned actions, includes banner protests and also demonstrations by the truckers, by the farmers, from the ranks of the teachers, from the ranks of the worker, from the ranks of the youth.
The developments have triggered a wave of demonstrations across Caracas. Supporters of Maduro took to bridges, tunnels, and streets, unfurling banners, chanting slogans, and demanding the return of what they call their working-class president. Activists describe the detention of Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores as an act of imperial aggression, vowing to continue protests until their release.
Well, at this very moment, we are joined by spokeswomen, spokesmen, and residents of the territory. With some fellow members of the commune and also from the parishes, local community, social movements, ensuring that the communication and dissemination efforts regarding what occurred on January 3rd of this current year, where, well, our President of the Republic was illegally removed, do not go unnoticed.
Well, this idea comes from us, the people. We, the people, have always been organized, always vigilant against imperialist attacks, against the attack of global Zionism, who want to seize our territory, our oil, our water, our gold, our coltan, all our natural reserves that we have in this country. We won't leave President Nicolas Maduro alone because he didn't leave us alone when Chavez passed away. And today we are here battling, fighting against the empire and against all those lackeys who are in the world who want to defeat us and want to take away our country, our natural resources, and they don't want to let our families and our children see a good future, a future in socialism, a future in revolution.
Anger has also grown following U.S. airstrikes that damaged Venezuela's Institute for Scientific Research, one of the country's most important scientific centers. Footage shows shattered windows, destroyed laboratories, and debris scattered throughout the complex. Researchers say the strikes sent a symbolic message, targeting not just military infrastructure, but science, health, and national identity.
The true and devastating consequences of what was done by the utterly criminal Yankee bombing campaign within the borders of our beloved country. They are numerous. At the physics center, particularly where I am, there was damage to almost every single window in the entire downtown area. There were significant problems with the infrastructure, and doors were completely detached. It came off, there was considerable damage reported in the main auditorium, specifically one of the auditoriums at the Physics Center. But the problem is not the material damage, rather the problem is the moral damage caused by the imperial aggression. The moral damage, when one is a Bolivarian, one feels that the homeland has been attacked in such a way, it's like feeling that your own mother has been violently struck.
Venezuela is the mother of each one, regardless of the political leaning one may have. This is our mother. And here at the IB, we are people who not only live and work, but we genuinely love the IB. So for us personally, we witnessed such a truly blatant, egregious violation, that it wasn't just in military facilities, but actually occurred within a highly significant research center, and that too sends a very clear message. Just as they bombed 2 warehouses with medicines for Venezuelan men and women, they also attack. Symbolically, its health, its production, its science, all of that feels violated and causes great anger.
With diplomatic talks quietly restarting, protests intensifying at home, and investigations into the January strikes ongoing, Venezuela now finds itself at a crossroads, caught between renewed engagement and deepening confrontation with Washington. As sovereignty, diplomacy, and power collide, the question remains, is this the beginning of dialogue or the next chapter of escalation?